My name is Fritz Schäfer. I'm from Mammut. I'm the product manager for all the climbing equipment at Mammut, and I'm going to present the Smart Alpine to you. The Smart Alpine is a belay device that we first introduced in 2011. It's a belay device that works for both single ropes and half ropes, but our main focus here was during development to develop a device that works in the Alpine, so for multi-pitch routes using 2 ropes. And the idea was to create a belay device that has a strong braking support. So it's almost an auto-locking device. It's not fully auto-locking, but it got a really strong braking support. And that's the great benefit of this device. We offer it in 2 sizes. We have the one that ranges for ropes from 7.5 to 9.5 mil. And more important for the American market is the one that ranges from 8.9 mil to 10.5 mil ropes. And I'm going to show you how this device works. For belaying a lead climber, I'll have a single rope here that makes it easier to show how it works. You insert the rope inside of the device like this. So this is your brake line. This is the line that goes to the climber. Then you put your carabiner inside of the device, clip it to the belay loop of the harness, and this is like the position that you start working with. And now for paying out rope, you pull the lever here with your thumb straight away from you, and now you can pay out rope really easily to your lead climber. And in case of a fall, the device almost locks. So we clearly state that you should always keep a hand on the braking line, even though the Smart executes a real braking force on the rope. In order to release again, you again push your thumb under the lever, and then the rope is released again and you can continue paying out rope. So we have an anchor here. Just place this carabiner here. And now we've got this red loop here, and I clip the Smart Alpine to the anchor. And then I put in the rope exactly the same, so I push it through the opening of the Smart Alpine. And now the big difference compared to belaying a lead climber is I push it even further outside the device, and I put the braking carabiner outside of the device, like this. And again, here is my second climber that I belay from the anchor. This is my brake hand, and now I can really easily and smoothly take in slack, belaying a second climber. If the second climber falls, the device will lock automatically, so I don't really need any force on the braking line anymore. In order to release the braking mechanism of the device, I can just lever the device, and now I could lower the second climber if I wanted to. So again, taking in slack, super easy, super smooth, and totally auto-locking in case of a fall of the second climber. Now when the second climber reaches the anchor and he belays himself on the anchor and he switches to becoming a lead climber, I can easily switch from belaying a second climber to belay a lead climber. I just unclip the device, take out the braking carabiner, put it back on my harness, and now I'm back in the mode for belaying a lead climber. So it's super fast. It's one carabiner movement to switching from belaying a second climber to belaying a lead climber in the Alpine. You can use it for both sport climbing and alpine climbing. For sport climbing, you would use it with a single rope. For alpine climbing, you normally climb on double ropes. That's why it got the 2 slots. So what I demonstrated now with the single rope works exactly the same with a double rope. You just put both ropes in both slots of the Smart Alpine. And so the primarily target customers clearly is the alpine climber, multi-pitch climber, big wall climber. And I'd say it's a device that can be used by anybody ranging from beginner to expert. I think especially for beginners, the great advantage is the almost auto-locking function if you belay a lead climber, but also the auto-locking function when belaying a second climber. So this gives additional safety margin, this strong braking support. especially in the Alpine when you have to catch lead climbers fall. You're gonna be, as a belayer, you're gonna be maybe torn against the wall or something like that if the fall hits you very hard. And so the braking support really adds safety to the device, and so this is why I think it's also really good for beginners. We've been testing this device with our sponsored athletes, mountain guides back in Switzerland, and they really appreciate that, especially when belaying a second climber. You know, you just let a pitch arrive at the anchor, then you set up everything for belaying the second climber, and while you belay the second climber you might want to put on a jacket or gloves or whatever. And so the auto-locking function allows you to also handle stuff in your backpack and stuff like that at the anchor. So it really ranges from beginners to experts. Our mountain guides in Switzerland that we sponsor use it a lot. We've been developing this device for about 2 years. It was one of the most complex developments that I did at Mammut, at least. We did a lot of testing in our drop tower facilities in order to make the device brake as much as it can. So especially the geometry of this curve here was something that we worked on for a long time in order to make the device as much braking supporting as it could be. The history of this product is that before we had the Smart Alpine, we already had the Smart for single ropes, and so it was pretty obvious, and we got asked a lot by sponsored athletes, by end consumers via email. We got emails, well, you have created the Smart for single ropes, which is a great device for sport climbing. Why not make this a device for double ropes as well? And so, yeah, it was pretty obvious to do this device after developing the Smart for single ropes. But even though we already had the Smart for single ropes, it seemed pretty easy to just double the single Smart. But in the end, it turned out to be really complicated to have all the functions that we wanted to have in this device. And as I said, it took us almost 2 years to finally develop this product, or to finally finalize the product the way we wanted it to be.